Krishna. Welcome to this presentation on the magic of Bhakti-vriksha. We don't have any PowerPoints ready because it was a sudden new topic, but it's part of our daily life, this magic of Bhakti-vriksha, so we talk spontaneously. Everyone knows English? So, actually the magic of Bhakti-vriksha is the magic of Lord Chaitanya. Because the mood and what we do in Bhakti-vriksha is the personification of what is Lord Chaitanya's mood. Lord Chaitanya, as you know, he says that I want to distribute Krishna Prema everywhere. But I am the gardener, I am the tree and I am the fruit, I want someone to help. So, in Bhakti-vriksha, the magic is that we are doing all this. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy comes. The most important part of the magic is that Bhakti-vriksha is based on love, friendship. Generally, in Krishna consciousness, there are various elements by which people come. You have the prasada, which everyone loves. Then you have the kirtan. Then what do you take them to next is the question. Because spontaneously you see the beautiful deities like this, you see the kirtan, and you see the prasada. That attracts everyone. There is no one who will say, I don't like prasadam, I don't like this and I don't. Because these three things everyone loves. Then the next step which you take determines how many of the people will come, how many will stay and what happens. So if the next step is just philosophy, you tell them that this is what happens in Bhagavad-gita, this is what Krishna says, this is what you must do. Most people don't have the intelligence, the first class intelligence. We don't have that. That someone tells you and it becomes apparent to you that yes, this is so, everything is Maya, that it is not actually in our own interest to have this kind of sense enjoyment. The miseries are caused because of previous karma. It is not easily apparent to us. So, unless you have first class intelligence, it will not be apparent. So, only those with first class intelligence will immediately say, yes, this is so. The others, like us, the second and third class intelligence, we need to experience something to believe it. So in Bhakti-vriksha, the magic is we give that experience. That experience of the spiritual world is one of selfless love. Okay? When you want to actually serve someone, not because you want something, but you want to make them happy. And that is what we do in Bhakti-vriksha. You give your house, and you give your time, and you give your friendship to the people. That is the way the whole of Bhakti-vriksha works. The core essence of Bhakti-vriksha is that a person, someone who gets committed to Krishna consciousness, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles, decides that I want to give myself to the people. And then they can become a Bhakti-vriksha leader. And we have all the materials, as you see over here, by which they can actually be a Bhakti-vriksha leader. And then they invite the people, and the important thing is that they like them, they are happy with them, and everything is conducted in an informed atmosphere. And that creates friendship. And like magic, people respond to this. Instead of, normally if you try to convince someone about these things, then they will not believe you. Okay, or they might argue with you, or they may just listen and go away. But when you give this unselfish love, okay, there are different ways you invite people to your house. Like sometimes you might have a formal party, which is not, let us say it's not Bhakti-vriksha, but you're just inviting people to your house. It will be with some motive in mind. They called me, so I called them. Or they are my relatives. So that has some motivation. But in Bhakti-vriksha, you are doing everything without any motivation. Just we want to give them Krishna consciousness. So everything happens magically in Bhakti-vriksha because you want to actually give selfless love. That selfless love speaks to people, and that magic changes their hearts. This is the first element of the magic.
Prabhupada was asked by some businessmen, can you show us some magic or some? Because normally all sadhus, some of these fake gurus, they show some magic. They, from the air, they can bring out something. And so they asked Prabhupada, can you show us some magic? And Prabhupada said, I went with just 40 rupees in my pocket alone. And then now I've got temples all over the world. Is that a magic? And they said, yes, that's a magic, definitely. Because, worth millions and billions of dollars. So in the same way, in Bhakti-vriksha, what happens is that you start with maybe just one couple or even doing a Bhakti-vriksha group, and then in just a few years you can have a big community Now, is that a magic or not? And when people come, and the same magic that Srila Prabhupada performed, that when people came, they were like totally doped hippies, looking so shabby, and they couldn't even understand what was going on. And then in a matter of year, yes, and in a matter of year, they became Brahmanas, following Vedic lifestyle. Pure Vedic lifestyle which is not even followed in India. You all know English or any translation? So Prabhupada created that kind of a miracle. And same thing, the Bhakti-vriksha is just based on the same things that Prabhupada did, the same mood as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he made the magic of converting Jagai and Madai, who were the total criminals of the day, topmost. And so they became great saints and acharyas. That was again another magic. And the same thing happens in the Bhakti-vriksha, that you won't imagine that people who walk in, they might be having all kinds of bad habits. For example, now recently we were in Argentina in Buenos Aires, and there's a Bhakti-vriksha member. And actually he was actually a gay. He's not even a... So he had that, and he was just chanting like 4 rounds, even that not very regularly. But somehow he developed the desire. He was coming regularly to the Bhakti-vriksha. I think I'll wait. So many families are coming.
They'll be the last, Prabhupada said. They'll be the last.
Who?
The Chinese. So just confirm with Prabhupada.
Did His Holiness Jayapataka Swami tell you to come here?
Yeah.
His Holiness Jayapataka Swami asked you to come here? Or you came on your own? You want to know about Bhakti-vriksha? Because they were there, so I thought maybe... Okay. No, the magic, we're talking about the magic of Bhakti-vriksha, and I'm giving you an example that in Argentina, in a Bhakti-vriksha group, there was a boy who was a lawyer, and he was like he was a gay, so he's not even a straight person, and he was chanting 4 rounds, and not very regularly, but somehow he developed the desire to worship Gaurnitai God. So he got that from the temple, and he told us excitedly, I'm going to go and bathe them today, and I'm going to dress them every day. I'm going to change their dress. I said, oh, can you take up this? It might be a little difficult for you to change. He said, no, I'm going to do that. And so he went home that day after the program, and he bathed Gaurnitai, small Gaurnitai deities. He had bought so many dresses for them, so he dressed them up. And he was so excited. He said, I couldn't sleep, and he chanted like 32 rounds that day. And he's a new devotee. And then after that, how many rounds is he chanting now? 60? I think he came forward to, or at least 8.
8 of them.
He, and he became so fired up, and he said, I'll become a leader. Definitely, I'm going to train myself. So that is the magic, isn't it? Somebody who is totally, they don't know any culture of Vedic culture at all, and they just hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they get so attracted. They're ready to change their lifestyle completely and surrender to Krishna so quickly. That's the amazing magic. And in the Bhakti-vriksha, this happens very quickly, because it happened the same way when Prabhupada was there. When he first started the movement, people just came, most unlikely people who had all kinds of bad habits. And Prabhupada was just dealing with them like a family member, talking to them, feeding them, and so on. And just by getting so much love and mercy from him, they just surrendered. They changed all their bad habits and became very nice devotees. And in the same principle, in the Bhakti-vriksha, what happens is, when a new member comes, the Bhakti-vriksha leader, servant leader, makes every one of the members feel like they are VIP. They don't see, oh, here is a rich man, here is a poor man, here is a person with good habits and bad habits, or he looks like a pious person, he is like a sinner. Everybody is a royal VIP person because they're all special. Krishna sent them to me. That is why. And so he starts treating them very respectfully. You know, so that is what attracts people to come to the Bhakti-vriksha. Not that we show them nice movies and we have like, you know, of course that's also there, but or, not that we're trying to, I mean it's serious stuff we are discussing. But what attracts them to come? Because they are like zero level, they don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. But then they like to come and associate with these devotees. And what's the reason? Because they get so much respect, they get so much love, so much care, and they want their, they keep calling, please come to my house. And they take the trouble to cook nice prasadam and serve them. And that's what touches their heart. What am I that they are all treating me so nicely? So this, and they're not getting anything out of this, they're not getting any money. And it's not coming on the newspapers about that. I mean, no one is glorifying them, nothing. They're just doing it with so much happiness, and that touches their heart. That is what, they get a first-hand knowledge about what is Krishna consciousness. They don't have to read all the books in order to understand what is Krishna consciousness. They get immediate experience. Krishna consciousness means love. Love of Godhead is the goal of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes devotees have to read and read and read for many years and ultimately come to the conclusion that we have to actually get love. Not knowledge is not the end of Krishna consciousness. Many times devotees may get a little off track by being very austere, especially in the beginning. They try austerity or they try to learn all the shlokas and try to quote them whenever possible, read all the books, and then what happens? That's good, of course. But without the proper mood, then they become very proud. And then it's they commit aparadas, Vaishnava aparadas, and then they go down in their spiritual life. It's like a up and down. Then it takes a long time to really come to a higher platform and even develop a mood to preach. It takes many, many years. How many people are preachers? Very, Madhyama Adhikari level to get there takes many years. And sometimes, maybe they don't preach because they've not been trained. So they're just like all the time just doing some simple seva, and they don't really make too much advancement. On the other hand, in the Bhakti-vriksha, what happens? They start coming. After 5 weeks, we tell them, okay, did you like the program? Why don't you invite your friends or colleagues or relatives? And we tell them how to invite them, what to tell them and how to react and all this. So their preaching starts very early. And then they become so enthusiastic, because actually the most exciting thing in this world is the most exciting part of Krishna consciousness, which is the same as in the spiritual world. What is the most exciting thing in the spiritual world? What is the highest perfection? What is the highest perfection in Krishna consciousness?
Pleasing Krishna.
Yeah, but the rasa, what is the topmost rasa? Yes, Madhurya rasa, the love between the gopis and Krishna, right? And Radha and Krishna. And the acharyas have said that the same mood of this love, Madhurya rasa with Krishna, in the material world is manifested in preaching. And that's how you have all these Goswamis, 6 Goswamis. They're all Manjaris and Gopis. And here in this world, they're only interested in preaching. So, preaching gives that ecstasy of Madhurya Ras with Krishna. And so, that is why Prabhupada said, don't bother about anything. What is my original rasa with Krishna? Don't worry about all that. Simply preach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave only one instruction as a service. Chant Hare Krishna in a very humble frame of mood and preach. Whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. That's all. And just by doing that, you make all the advancement in Krishna consciousness. So Bhakti-vriksha is a magic that very quickly people make very good advancement, and the greatest magic is that after 64 weeks, all the members, many of the members become leaders. How can somebody become a leader in such a short time? Isn't it that they were, so that is the thing, that it empowers people from the heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also made devotees very quickly. He didn't give big lectures for a long time. And people would come, he would be camped in a place, maybe for a month, and all devotees from all the neighboring villages would come there and listen to the kirtan night and day, dance with him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would glance into their eyes and they would feel great love for Krishna. And that's it. They have advanced. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, now you go back to your village and this Krishna Prem which you have got in your heart, you give it to others. Because Krishna Prem can only be got from a devotee who has that Krishna Prem. That's all. Not by your sadhana, not by reading, not by doing anything else. You can get Krishna Prem only from another devotee who has Krishna Prem. So he said, go and give Krishna Prem to everyone and also teach them Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So the first comes Krishna Prem, then knowledge. And that's what happens in the Bhakti-vriksha, that we give them Krishna Prem. And how is it? By first giving love to devotees. When you love and take care of devotees, Krishna is so happy that he gives love for himself. There's no difference between devotees and Krishna. If you see the connection. Devotees are part of Krishna. And so if you love them because they're part of Krishna, simply by serving devotees and taking care of them, you develop love for Krishna. So your heart is touched, you develop quickly in bhakti, in the Bhakti-vriksha, and then all knowledge is easy to attain. So many of the Bhakti-vriksha devotees very quickly do Bhakti Shastri. They get very good marks. How do they do it? Because they have practical realization about what is Krishna consciousness, that you have to serve, that you have to be very humble, that you have to chant Hare Krishna. That's the most important thing. Serving Vaishnavas, showing compassion, Jivadaya, and by preaching, chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And that's it. You can become elevated very quickly. So that is why Bhakti-vriksha is the most magical program. Thank you.
Then another magic. So this magic we saw by which someone can become a leader very quickly. The magic which happens is the change of heart. By change of heart, a person completely changes. Someone who is very shy, and according to all the rules of management, they don't have the leadership qualities. Their heart changes because of Krishna consciousness. By attending Bhakti-vriksha, then they suddenly become empowered to be leaders. They are able to be leaders. So leader does not necessarily mean someone who is tall and big and strong personality and everyone listens to. That is not a leader. Leader is a person who actually is very desirous of serving people and is able to inspire them, make them enthusiastic to work towards a particular goal. And the Bhakti-vriksha leader is a person, because his heart has been transformed and he feels very inspired that I want to give Krishna consciousness. Therefore he is able to inspire people. Just by opening out his heart or her heart and sharing, what happens is everyone gets inspired. That is what is a leader, being able to inspire people. Or Sham Prabhu's wife, okay, she's a Russian, he's from Argentina. So we knew her before he knew her. She was a young 19-year-old girl when she came to Krishna consciousness. She attended a Bhakti-vriksha. Within a few months, she said, I will start my own Bhakti-vriksha. She continued to attend. Okay, she used to be. There is a movie they made of her. I don't know whether they actually brought out that movie where they showed her before and after. Okay, she was, daughter of some very rich Russian. She said, I used to be a very bad girl. I was into drugs and this and all those things she used to do. She was that kind of a person. So that movie shows how she was before. I don't know how she. Then she just came to Bhakti-vriksha. In a few months she was completely transformed. And she became the saintly person you would see her around the campus sometime. And she's totally different. And this young girl, she couldn't speak English or anything. We used to go and talk to her. She was trying to learn English, but she couldn't speak very good English. Then she got transformed. She became a Bhakti-vriksha leader. And then her Bhakti-vriksha multiplied. And within 2-3 years, she had 10 to 15 Bhakti-vriksha under her. And she learned English. And she came to Mayapur and she found a husband also. And he doesn't know Russian, she doesn't know Spanish. And she got married.
That's a magic.
So we're going to see their little girl Malini, what language she speaks, we'll find out.
Yeah.
And transformation of heart transformed everything. There is no other way. You see, people will spend thousands of dollars attending courses trying to change people. Give up drugs, give up this, give up that, change. And they don't change. Because you need that magical change of heart for you to change. And once the heart changes, everything changes. And in Bhakti-vriksha we have found how much this whole problem of marriage of the modern age is solved. Okay? Because when people come to Bhakti-vriksha, they start realizing that the center of everything is Krishna. Realizing, not just hearing. You can hear Krishna is everything. But until we realize it, we just think Krishna, we say Krishna is everything, but we think Krishna is somewhere else, he is someone else, and I am me, and you are you. We keep on thinking like that. But in Bhakti-vriksha, by selfless service, you magically understand that yes, I am a servant of Krishna, he is a servant of Krishna, she is a servant of Krishna. Okay, when that is the case, then between husband and wife, suddenly all problems become trivial. Because both are together serving Krishna, there is engagement. Especially if they start conducting Bhakti-vriksha, they start doing that engagement, then all other quarrels appear completely trivial. That is why we've had, in the place where we were preaching in Mathura Desh, we've had hundreds and thousands of marriages have taken place, but none have broken up. None have broken up because Bhakti-vriksha is like a vaccination which prevents you from getting the disease of separation. And even when people come near breaking up, there is a whole community supporting them, which encourages them to be together again. This is how it was in the old Indian culture, that because the culture was against the husband and wife fighting, automatically they didn't. They never used to separate because the culture was like that. And this Bhakti-vriksha is that kind of culture. The Vaishnava community culture becomes such that the whole culture is pressurizing you to stay together. You know, they can only see you together as a unit, and it happens. So this change in family relationships is a very important part of the future. Okay? This magic is very important for the future because the breakup rate is becoming so high, including in India. When the girls are getting well educated and their parents tell them that if he gives you any trouble, come back to me. So the rate of divorce is increasing and increasing. It's very frightening what will happen in the future. But if you have Vaishnava communities built with Bhakti-vriksha, this will magically change. So these are just some of the things. You have something else to add?
Yes, one point.
Okay.
And the other is that normally in the Vaishnava culture we have this thing of parampara system, right? Krishna says that evam parampara prapti. Only through parampara you can understand anything in Krishna consciousness, in anything, even in other things like cultural things or knowledge, everything you get through Guru, through the parampara system. And so in the Bhakti-vriksha, normally because in the materialistic world everyone tries to be like, learn something and then go independent. Or even the Mayavadis for that matter, they want to, the Guru is needed only as long as you are liberated, and once you are as good as God, then you don't need the Guru anymore. So that's the independent nature, we've all got that infection of being. But in the Bhakti-vriksha, everything, as devotees are trained to become leaders, then they don't just become independent from their leader who made them into a leader, but rather they continue that relationship. Their leader continues to care for them, maintain the relationship, and they give them reports and everything, and consult them, and they act like, and the older leader acts like a grandparent, taking care, helping in taking care of the members. So in this way, what happens is they understand that we are like a parampara, that whatever we do, we consult our seniors. And so when the senior leaders do like that, then the juniors also follow them. So everything is easy, because if you just see it in theory, very difficult to understand. Our materialistic nature is so strong that we are very rebellious by nature. But in the Bhakti-vriksha, the whole community is there. Somebody is showing some streaks of rebellion or pride or whatever, and the whole community tolerates. Okay, no problem. They'll overcome this. Just like teenagers, when they grow up, all parents are really very worried what has happened to my child. They seem like a different species altogether. So then all the parents get together and then they say, don't worry, even my child is like that. And then they tolerate and they wait patiently. And magically, after the 20th year, back again to being normal human beings. In the same way, like in the Bhakti-vriksha system also, everyone is very tolerant. And someone is showing some deviant behavior, they still continue to give love acceptance and wait. And then definitely, because love can transform anyone, and that changes their heart, it purifies the heart with love.
So this is just a glimpse of the magic of Bhakti-vriksha. There is all sorts of literature and you can always get in touch with us to do this, to improve. If you're already doing Bhakti-vriksha, how you can make it more and more magical.